Yo, what's going on? You know, like I told you, it's your boy, Bo to the Know. But Bo always take Mo. This is my podcast, whom and who is listening. And like I told you earlier, we here live, we talking, giving you comments. You can come and do what you want to do. Hey, it's July the 3rd, 2017. Happy 4th of July. All the people out there that's popping firecrackers. Hey, be safe. Hey, big ups to you. Enjoy your night, enjoy your food, and stay with your family. Yo, so hey, I'm just here today, talking about what the topic is today is live to take chances. They are worth it. It's a lot of things in life nowadays that we do, but I feel like we're too dull. We stay in the same path and we don't go outside the circle. I'm standing outside, looking at the firecrackers and just seeing how different colors, conjoin together, and how they make a pattern. Sometimes we're like that. Sometimes we stay in a pattern world where we don't go outside of, our circle and do different things and take chances with people and take chances with things in our lives, and we never grow and we never understood, and then when we meet someone or meet something, and we're so bubbled up and that person or something grows us to a different level. But sometimes we lose some people or lose some things because we're never willing to go outside and take chances. We're never willing to live, never willing to go outside and just, cliff hang for a little bit. Hang on the cliff, feel the rush, do what you got to do, We seem to just stay in a pattern all our lives and we go by that. And as soon as everything is just the way it is, we're very content. But sometimes we have to live outside of that, sometimes we have to just go above and beyond. Yes, you can go above and beyond your pattern lifestyle, but sometimes the above and beyond that goes on the wild side can make you grow in a different way. And we have to understand that, let's get outside of the pattern. I know the journey is a straight line, but maybe sometimes we have to need to go curvy a little bit, step outside of the journey for a minute, take a rest, see what's outside of a different world, If I can quote something, Danny Wallace, the Yes Man, said, probably some of the best things that have ever happened to you in life happened because you said yes to something. Otherwise, things just sort of stay the same. And that's really true. Things stay the same. Sometimes, we have to take a chance on imperfection, when we say no to everything and we stick to ourselves, that we try to be so perfect in a lot of things in life. And sometimes not being, being imperfectionist can keep us from growing in certain areas of our life. We want everything to be so perfect, that we just continue to say no to outside people, outside ideas, outside events or situations that can help us grow in another way. And sometimes we won't know until we're like, man, I should have really done this. It's nothing worse than a person that's been trying to be so perfect or something that's trying to be so perfect that when something messes up, they're not prepared for it. I tell people all the time, I always have a plan B and a plan C, because plan A doesn't always work, and we have to really realize that our mindset that, we have plan A and plan B and plan C people in our lives. And there are going to be people that come along that from plan B and plan C that's going to help us more than plan A. Because plan A can always be there. It can always be dependent on, but sometimes it's not always there. People come in our lives all the time to build things and they leave. You got folks that come in your house, come in your life and build a building for you, all for the cause that you're for. Sometimes they'll leave, but the good thing is they left a building for you to have something in, But we always have to have a plan B, We got to learn to not always be perfect, Always just got to learn to get away from it. Got to learn to be able to listen to other people and listen outside of our circle. A circle is not always perfect, If we're not stationary and you're just steadily just, moving, your circle will never be perfect. Stop expecting things to be perfect. Just stop really expecting it to really be perfect. Sometimes you have to, I tell my friends all the time, hey, things are not going to always be the way you want them to be. Sit back, get cool, calm, collect. A lot of folks look at me and say, why are you so nonchalant? Because, I expect things to go out different than what it is. So when they do go take a wrong turn, guess what? I'm not excited. I'm not, I don't get overexcited. I'm not surprised. I'm not mad, because I already put in my mind that guess what? This might not be the perfect route, might not be the perfect road, but guess what? I'm doing what I got to do. And that's the way it should be. Always. You also got to understand that being in perfection, we learn from our mistakes. Mistakes are good. Mistakes are something that we need to go to. Without mistakes, we can't learn to grow. You have to be willing to make mistakes. You have to be really be willing to make mistakes in life. That's what leaders do. Leaders grow because they make mistakes. Every leader that you ever known, every leader that was ever born, every leader that you ever seen in your life that was great or something made a lot of mistakes to get there. I guarantee you they made a lot of mistakes to get there. We have to know. You have to be able to understand that. Don't down yourself because you made a mistake because you want everything to be perfect. Imperfection grows you. Being wanting to be perfect grows you. But willing to take the mistakes and know that you have imperfections will eventually get you something that you would be greater. I tell people all the time, just because you are good at something, great at something, doesn't mean you're perfect. It just means you are at a different level than other people are. You make mistakes, but you know how to cover them up. You know how to backtrack. You know how to do over your mistakes to make other things grow. And by doing that, we have to show other people that. See, sometimes we try to be so perfect in life that we do not teach our brothers and sisters how to do the same thing. Our friends do the same thing. And guess what? That's an imperfection. That's a mistake. Because we keep brothers and sisters from behind. We keep our family from behind. We keep people behind from learning how to grow. And we have to understand that. My mistake is your mistake. It's always a team and everything. I can get you so far, but us can get you farther than everything in life. You have to understand that. And always understand people make mistakes. You got to remember that you make mistakes, people make mistakes. We have to understand that and be in the road of being perfection that people make mistakes. We get in a lifestyle where we want everything to be so perfect that when people make mistakes in our lives, we get upset, we push them away, we get away. When things make mistakes, we have to understand things and people make mistakes. Things are made to make mistakes. Think about it. Every cell phone you get has a mistake in it. It's going to mess up. You got to get a new cell phone. Every car you get is going to be a mistake in it. You have to get it all changed. You got to get looked up, tires rotated. Now you have to get a new model of a car because they are set to make a mistake. People make mistakes. People are not crazy. People are not messed up, but they make mistakes. No one is a mistake on this earth. So we have to stop trying to be so perfect in everything. Let's be great at something, not be perfect. You gotta, and some things in life, we have to understand that taking a chance on the present moment, that's something amazing. When you're in life, you're living in the moment. Sometimes you have to. I understand that life is serious, and you understand, and that's great to have a motive to you. I'll take life very serious, but there's moments in your life that you have to take a chance in. Be happy about the moments. Take them moments by the horn, and ride them out. Moments can grow you too, because you can learn something in a second of a moment that might help you for a lifestyle that you learned and try to learn all your life. Search for happiness is sometimes the main reason for unhappiness. That's the problem. People will search for happiness in the most perfect way that it would keep them down. Stop looking for happiness to be perfect. It cannot be perfect. And here's the thing about it. People look for fairy tales and happiness and be like, oh, I want a happy tale. Guess what? When you find happiness, it's going to be a fairy tale. Every fairy tale that ended a happy ending had a bumpy road before it. Remember that. People forget about the bumpy road that got to the fairy tale. They don't think about the ending. They don't think about what happened during the fairy tale. They always think about the ending. Oh, the prince found the queen. Prince kissed the queen. She got up. But guess what? It was a bumpy road before they got to the end of the fairy tale. So you have to understand that there's some imperfection in your fairy tale. And there's going to be some mistakes that get you to the greatness of the end of the fairy tale. You have to understand that. You have to understand that. Stop searching for happiness in the most perfect way. Live on the wild side. Hey, do some things that you've never done before. Just go for it. Stop thinking about it. Just do it. Yes, it's okay to have things in order sometimes. But hey, what about going to the wild side? It's okay to have some kind of things to be perfect, but what about just doing it? Just say, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do what I got to do and see how I have it. And enjoy it. And you understand that, hey, man, every now and then I have to kick my shoes off and let my feet, run wild. I tell people all the time, hey, man, sometimes you just got to go for it. Going for it will keep you away from being a millionaire. And that's what a lot of people understand. A lot of millionaires that made a lot of millionaires that became billionaires and had $1 million ideas because they lived on the wild side somewhere in them making their mistakes. They had a plan and they wanted to be so perfect, but it was the mistake that got them where they needed because they understood and they eventually learned from the mistake, which meant that guess what? As long as I keep on making mistakes, I can keep on trying. It can never be perfect, but eventually one day I'm going to make the right mistake, and then it's going to be the right way. Yes, there's a difference between wrong mistakes and right mistakes, but you learn from both of them. People say, oh, there's a mistake. Yes, a mistake is a mistake. Yes, you're right. You got right mistakes that you're like, man, I should have made a mistake earlier because it actually got me to where I need to be. And you got wrong mistakes where you be like, I should have never made that decision in the first place. Live on the wild side, y'all. Be grateful for when your mood is high. Grateful for when it is low. Let me say that again. Be grateful when your mood is high. Graceful when it's low. That's what we have to do. That's the type of life we have to live, y'all. The type of life we have to live is that when our mood is very, very, very high, we have to be grateful and be grateful for when it's low. We have to stay in a set of mind where we have to always be able to take the chances that we need. Because we get so downplayed in our self-esteem of ourselves that we can never get somewhere when our mood is low, when it is high, because we go to the emotions. Sometimes we have to mix the emotions with decisions, and step to the side and just go for it. Take chances. Live how you're going to do. Don't be so perfect all the time. Being perfect all the time can make your mood change. When your mood change go low or high and put you in an awkward predicament where now you're making decisions on the edge and that's not what you want. And hey, take this for instance. If you want to be so perfect, sometimes if you lived on the wild side and got some infection in your life, perfect might just even be there. So, hey, like I say, be grateful when your mood is high and grateful for when it is low. Appreciate the good things in life. Appreciate everything, Your mistakes can be good things in life. Appreciate the small things. Appreciate the big things. Appreciate everything that's something in life. We get so messed up in things being perfect that we never appreciate the small things that got us to where we need to be at. When we get small good things in our life, we throw them to the side because we want greater. But guess what? Before we get the greater, good has to come before that. Hey, it's right. I always teach people that my job, I tell folks all the time, I say, hey man, pay attention to the small things, Small things is what is going to elevate you to have been greater in what you're doing now. I talk to my employees all the time and tell them, hey man, good job on that. Good job on that. The smallest thing can make somebody's day be better. Talking to one of your coworkers or talking to one of your loved ones and telling them about this stuff and giving them a pep talk about little small things can make their day go wild. They can go to work and get all pluses across the board and be like, oh, I did this. Is because you had a special encounter with them that got their mood up. And guess what? Any mistake that came to them during that day was a pass me by. Because sometimes when you give somebody something small to appreciate, such as a prep talk, it will get them to the point where they say, those mistakes they had, I'm going to be motivated and I'm going to keep going because someone started my day off just right. So listen, we're going to take a short break. Like I say, this is Bo to the Know. Bo on this podcast, I always talk about Mo. We're going to take a little break. And I'm saying we take a little break. I want you to, get yourself ready because we're going to continue talking about this. Living to take chances. They might just be worth it.
Who's Sam?
Yo. Hey, it's commercial. July is National Blueberry Month. We have a special dessert for you. It's called red, white, and blueberry popsicles. The ingredients is 1 cup of diced watermelon, 3/4 cup of vanilla yogurt, 1 cup of frozen blueberry thawed. If you want to get the mixture of the recipe, look up red, white, and blueberry pancakes because July is National Blueberry Month. Please appreciate that for us. As once again, happy 4th of July to all the people out there. Enjoy your family, enjoy the food. Be safe with your firecrackers. And I hope that, this be a good together for a national holiday for America. Yeah, and we're back. Like I say today, this is Bo to know. Bo talks more in the podcast, and we're talking about, living to take chances because they might just be worth it. I'm sitting here outside on the porch, and it's been a wonderful night, and people are enjoying the 4th of July. They're popping their firecrackers, and, like I say, it's not like the old days, when we was just, used to go out to the yard and pop firecrackers with family members and friends and be out there all night long, but hey, it was the best days, the best time it was then, and things are not like they used to be, but I wish they could be the way they used to be. But hey, all we can do is live on the memories. Hey, live in the moment, like I always say. So getting back to what we talked about, I see we have some viewers that come in and comment on what I'm saying. Hey, thank y'all for y'all comments. Thank you for the ones that's coming in and talking and give me some insight on what I should talk about next. I appreciate it. I appreciate it for the views. The more views I get, the more publicity I get, and the more I can be able to do more things that you want to hear about. Hey, but always remember, hey, I'm Bo, and I always talk about Mo. So on the topic we're talking about today, we want to say, hey, take a second chance whenever possible. We're really talking about the chances that you have in life that you should take because, hey, they could be worth it, And like I just say, take a second chance whenever possible. I can tell you right now, I probably got 500 second chances. But you know what them 500 second chances let me know? It let me know that I can keep on pushing forward because I can keep on trying. Like the saying, first you don't succeed, try again. That's a second chance. And what this right in the middle of that saying? Keep pushing forward. Keep doing what you got to do. You get a chance, take it. Don't get so emotionally unstable with it because you were trying to be perfect and everything didn't go away. You get a second chance. You go, you run wild, you go for it. You make it like wildfire and you do what you have to do. Because life is too short for not us to try to live in greatness. Difference between winning and losing is not quitting. Remember that, y'all. The difference between winning and losing is not quitting. Get back up. Always remember, there's not how many times you get hit and fall down. It's how many times you get back up and keep moving forward. This life that we're in, everybody is taking life by horns and they're taking chances, and you must do the same thing. Get out there and live a life like you never before. Get a job like you never done before. Get the house that you never had before. Take some things by the horn. If you didn't do something when you was a kid, now that you're going to do it again. Live your life. Make something of it. I always tell people all the time, hey, I did a lot of things when I was in my young years of my life, and yeah, I'm still a young man, but now that I'm in my mids going until, the older age, hey, I'm straightening things up where I need to be at so I get to my old age where I want to be at. I can say, hey, man, I took the necessary steps that I needed to get where I needed to go. And I tell people all the time, I'm trying to retire before I get to 50. That's my goal. That's where I want to be at. And that's where I plan on being at. No ifs, ands about it. Begin to do things like you've never done before. Live your life a little bit. Stop sitting in the house every day, every night. To go out on the course a little bit, do something different, travel, go to a different country, see different people, even cook differently, sing differently, dress differently, live on the wild side. Don't care about what's going on. Sometimes you have to go outside of your bubble just to see what the area is out there. Because we're so stuck up on the areas inside of our bubble that we've been breathing the same air for a long time. And when we finally get outside the bubble, we take a deep breath. Guess what? It is a good feeling. Because some people are living the world differently than what we are. And we can't understand how they're elevating in situations, the same situations that we have. It's because they begin to take a step a little further than we took it. We've been on the same step since day one. All right, now, Just want to give a big shout out to Speaker, SPPREAKER, the ones that give me a chance to do my podcast. Hey, if you want to start your own podcast, please go to Speaker, SPPREAKER. They give you a chance. You pay a little monthly fee and you get your subscription. You get your full hour of talk time or 45 minutes or whatever you need. Subscriptions to all types of social media, such as YouTube, iHeart, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so on and so on. Remember, if you want your podcast, you want to talk about things in life and grow on, please go to Speaker, SPPREAKER. Man, like I say, it's been a blast talking about this, man. Talking about what we're talking about. I see the listeners coming in tonight. We don't have anybody tuning in that wants to ask a question publicly online. Eventually one day, like I say, if I keep pushing, I ask you guys to keep giving me comments, keep giving me likes. I'm trying to grow this podcast even further than what it is. So I can keep giving you more of Bo, and Bo can keep telling you more. That's the whole subject. That's the whole thing I want to do. And that's why I named this podcast, Whom and Who is Listening. So I need people to wake up and figure out what's going on and understand that what we talk about is good things and great things. And it's always going to be something that's there to push you forward. I want young people, all the way to the older people, to the middle people. I want everybody to be listening. I want the crowd to be on a level of everybody been waking up to understand that, hey, this man is speaking some truth and we want to talk about it. It's nothing I can come to you on this radio station without me going through it first, So in a little bit, we're going to take a short little break, listen to music, keep it real calm, get you a snack, go to get something to drink, whatever you need to do. Hey, but like I said, I'll be right back in a few seconds. Remember, happy 4th of July, people. Yo, we back. You know who it is. It's Bo to the Mo. And Bo always talk about Mo. This is my podcast. This is where I'm doing the thing. I'm live. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on iHeart. I'm on YouTube. Log in daily to talk to me and see what I'm talking about. Give me comments, give me likes, and let's grow this thing out, y'all. Help your boy out. They say today, is July the 3rd, 2017. Happy 4th of July to everybody. Keep safe. Enjoy the food. Family, like always, we're talking about, living to take chances, and because they are worth it. This is my podcast, Who and Whom are Listening. To get down back to it, my topic, I had a good strong topic, and I want to give you one last thing before I go, and that is get knocked down sometimes to stand up taller than before. Sometimes you have to take the mistakes to get knocked down. Being perfect is not always going to mean that you're going to always stand up and win. Sometimes you have to take some losses to be a better winner. I always tell people all the time, it's good to go undefeated, but sometimes taking losses will put you more in the experience to win things. I appreciate every loss I had to take in my life, because losses got me tougher. They got me stronger. They grew me. They showed me things. They put me in a situation where I can understand that, hey, even though I got a lot of W's, losses were meant to me, because there's always someone that's going to be there to push you, be higher and be better than you. But you can always be greater than that person, because, hey, learn to take the loss, learn to learn from the loss, and learn to heal from the loss, and then learn to grow from the loss. Losses are very important in your life. It's the losses that keep you from getting more W's. Because if you can understand what the loss means in your life when you got knocked down, when you begin to stand taller, your W's will be more grateful, would be more excellent, more greater. They will mean more to you. You know, I tell people all the time. I tell these young boys younger than me all the time. Why you got so much of attitude? You know, you can't win out every time. You have to lose. There's always someone that was there before you. You just have to learn how to be behind them and watch and see. You know, sometimes you have to be quiet, and that's taking a loss. But guess what? That loss means learning a lot and being patient and growing, because guess what? When it's time for you to speak and step forward and be a leader, now you're doing the real winning. Now you're doing the real growing. And before long, people will be listening to you and taking losses. And it's a recycle. We have to keep going round and round. Take the chances, y'all. Live your life, you know. Learn from your mistakes. Keep your mistakes. Cherish your mistakes. It's your mistakes that grow you, you know what I'm saying? So you can get to where you need to be. Don't be perfect all the time. Man, leave it alone. You can't be perfect in your family. You can't be perfect. That's where we mess up in life. We try to be perfect in everything in life, with our family, our church, our churches, our schools, you know, material things, you know, kids, even ourselves. And that's how we mess up, because we get in a state of mind that we want to be so perfect that a little mistake can shake up our whole life, because we wasn't ready for it. We never had a plan B and C. We always stuck with plan A. Even people are coming in our life and throw a monkey wrench in our lives, and it's not perfect, like it's not going, because we can't know control over it. Because when we want to be perfect, we want to have control over things, and we can't do that. Learn to have some imperfections. Learn to have some mistakes. Learn from them and grow. And guess what? When you do try to have things that go in the perfect way, it will be greater. It will be great. You know, everything you might not win. You might not run the race perfectly, but you can win it in a greatness level. That's what people understand. When you run in a race, every superhero, every superstar, every pro player that has won a championship won it in greatness, but did not win it in perfectness. The road to it was bumpy. They got some losses. You know what I'm saying? They got some injuries. But they pushed on, they learned from every last mistake they had. So when they got to the end of the journey, they won the race in greatness and had a legacy. Remember that, folks. Remember that. Won your race. Take the mistakes, take the bumps, take the bruises, take the detours. Because keep pushing forward, because when you get to the end of the race, your legacy will be in greatness. I thank y'all for tuning in to my podcast. This is Bo the Mo, you know, where Bo always talk Mo. Remember that. Hey, like I said, I give a shout out to Speaker, Sppreaker, because Speaker is the reason why I'm doing my podcast. They gave me the opportunity. Hey, just go into Sppreaker Speaker, pay your monthly fee, get your own podcast, and you can grow too. Remember, give me more likes, give me more comments. I'm always looking for resources, always looking for topics to talk about. You know, stay tuned into my next podcast tomorrow, where we'll be talking about a totally different topic, and we'll get your ears open up your ears, open up your eyes. Stay awake, y'all. Guess what? This is Bo to Know. You know, Bo talk more. Tune into my podcast tomorrow. Who is listening? I'm gonna holler at y'all. Have a 4th of July. Happy holidays.